Call That's All Studios in downtown Milwaukee at the 3rd Street Market Hall.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
This is Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch.
It's Wilde Touch, isn't it?
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Monday edition. The Game 2 of the NLDS edition. The whole world is there. Mark Tauscher's going to be there. Jesse Nelson and Up North Joe are going to be there. I'm not going to be there. Edition. The bye is over. The Packers are back to work. They are practicing at 10:30 without me. I know they'll somehow manage. They're also opening up the locker room earlier, so look forward to the Mark Tauscher and Riley Yauk show for the last couple segments, potentially, edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need, except, of course, a connection to Spotify. On the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find in both the Android and Apple app stores, and serves as a very good substitute until Spotify gets its blank together. We're just going to start playing Jesse original music in and out of breaks. I think that'll solve the problem. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is not here to play original music. He took the day off because he's going to the game tonight. I think that's how this worked. And then did not alter his plan.
I never understood about that. The game was either going to be at 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock, right? There never was a 2 o'clock schedule because the NL was not playing, or the AL was not going to play today.
Yeah, they played yesterday. Yeah.
Riley, am I wrong?
I don't believe so.
But on the bright side, we get young Riley Yauk as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Riley, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Not only that, but now you might get to host a little bit. And, of course, from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Jason. How are you?
Good. Do you have your game face on yet?
My game face.
Well, I always think of Bob Knight when he does that, when somebody asks him at the NCAA tournament what a game face is, and he's making all of
No, I don't have a game face, but I'll say this. I'm incredibly excited. We had the Brewers updates as the Michigan-Wisconsin game was starting to unwind there in the second half. And there is a mania. There is a Brewers mania, and I'm excited to get down there. I don't love the start time. For me, personally, I'm pretty sure tomorrow I'll probably be cranky and a little bit tired, but hopefully it'll be coming back with a big fat W coming back from AmFam Field.
So will you be spreading joy and positive vibes? That I gotta say, and again, there are times when you and I don't see eye to eye, but we agree on UW Credit Union, and we agree, even when I give you a hard time for not waving, that you are beloved. That video that the Brewers and UW Credit Union put out of you handing out signed baseballs and footballs and, chatting it up, kissing babies, shaking hands, more fist bumping, really, because you're trying to keep your prediction that the handshake had been eliminated to go. How much fun was that? Because and then the vibes carried over into a big W in Game 1.
It was awesome. And that, the whole that whole concept of what UW Credit Union and the Brewers have, where you go up to the fourth deck forever. They do this every game, by the way, and they just find a family.
I didn't know. Yeah,
every game somebody from the Brewers gets to go, and I was asking there's 2 or 3 folks that do it. The gal I was with that night, I said that's got to be what a fun job, because you're going to always get somebody smiling and being happy about that. So that part is really cool, and obviously all of that angst. I think I said on Friday that Saturday's game was a must-win for the Brewers for a lot of reasons, but mainly because their horse was out. And by the way, there you go. Brandon Woodruff pretty much told you, and Brandon Woodruff's been around a lot longer. And definitely, clubhouse. He's been around a long time, and he basically said the same thing. Everybody understood that when you have your guy going, the psychological part of that, if they beat you, there's a little more doubt that comes into your head. And then when you're starting Ashby and you're going to bullpen day, now you do it up 1, and I think everybody has the mentality of, in Murph we trust. I know I do. I don't know if Jesse and Up North Joe do, but that's the vibe, and you're just in a much better spot heading into tonight.
So tonight, first pitch is at 8:08 Central Daylight Time.
That's late.
According to MLB.com, it is Shota Imanaga. How do I say that? And Aaron Ashby.
Okay.
That's what MLB.com has. So when you say that, and look, Aaron Ashby, 5-2, 2.16 ERA. They don't have their horse going tonight. So how does that change you and Woody's calculus? Because obviously you want to go 2-0 and go to Chicago needing 1 game.
Well, you want to go 1-0 again. I don't think you look at it as going 2-0. You look at it as going 1-0.
1-0 every game. Sure, yeah. Thanks.
I was going to say on Friday when we did our Steinhoffel sleepers, and I'm glad I ended up not going with Chorio, because obviously he started off guns blazing, 3 for 3, pulls his hammy. We don't know to what degree. He was out there slow jogging a little bit yesterday. But I thought Ashby was going to be one of the key figures in this, because he's been so good and he's been so versatile, figuring out how to utilize him in a big way. Who knows? I think everybody is kind of assuming that he's going to throw 2 innings and then they're going to hand it over to Priester. I think that's the assumption. I know we have a Brewers expert joining us later in the show to probably break that down more than I can.
Dom Cotronio scheduled to appear 11:15.
The question I have is, if he's going, do you roll? I mean, do you go? Can you try to get 3 and maybe 4 innings out of him? I don't know. I would think 3 innings will be the max that he gets tonight, but at this point, we've seen this movie before, and I got to give my younger brother Pat credit. Remember when Pat joined us way back in the beginning of the show?
I
Probably
do remember this.
first or second year.
Uh-huh.
And his point was,
man ahead of his
with
time.
some of these teams that can't afford to pay a Paul Skeens $45 million, or whoever is making big money in today's day and age, why not just get a bunch of flame-throwing fools that can give you 1 or 2 innings, and you go about your business that way? Well, the Brewers have kind of implemented that. Now, we haven't had the postseason success since 2018, but tonight will be a big indicator if Pat's philosophy is going to be something that you're going to want to continue on. Or I still think I want Freddie. I want somebody giving me 5, 6, 7 innings that can get it done. That's what I'm still looking for.
Do you want him
when you're limited?
Do you want him being Oral Hershiser in the 1988 World Series, where he pitches like 4 of the 7 games or whatever he does?
I want Dave Stewart. I want Jack Morris. I want Oral Hershiser. Those are the guys I want out there. The dude
and you
from
want
the Yankees
Tommy
that
John
pitched 7,
surgery.
Schlitzky. That's the guy. I want horses.
Okay.
I want to have horses.
Mike
I want
Caldwell.
Sabathia.
Pete Vukovich. Those type of guys. Throw it till their arm falls off, and then they throw with their other arm. I don't think that's how it works.
It's hard to have a baseball conversation with you.
What?
I don't know where to go from that. What, you're saying Pete Vukovich is going to throw right-handed and left. What is he, Mickey Vandehey? Being able to throw a
I'm saying
right-handed and left-handed a doubleheader?
You're living in the past, man. Pitchers don't do that sort of thing. What, Nolan Ryan? Come on. They don't do it. It's a different
Yankees,
era.
Dude, that Schlitsky just shut down the Red Sox.
Yeah,
I'm not asking you to throw 180 pitches.
Hey, you know why he's a good story? It's because nobody does that stuff anymore.
Didn't the dude from the Red Sox the first game throw 120? Isn't Scooball throwing up 120 plus? Like they're still there. Nah, it's unusual, but it's unusual to win a world championship too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. So
Riley, are you excited? Riley, how did you feel when you heard? Because I think we all thought Priester was going to start tonight.
Yeah.
I know I did.
I know initially.
What was the vibe when you heard that?
Initially, I was very nervous and apprehensive because I was like, why don't we just ride our horse? Outside of his last start against the Reds, the Brewers hadn't
you
lost.
Pitch Peralta again?
No.
that's a bold strategy.
Our horse number 2, our second string horse. Because outside of his last start against the Reds, the Brewers had won the last 19 games in which he pitched.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, but then one of my friends, who is a college baseball coach, informed me that the Cubs have a very left-handed dominant top of the lineup. So they're rolling with Ashby for ideally the first 2 innings. Take care of those lefties. Then bang, Priester's in for the next 5. Then you roll it to Abner, McGill to finish us off. Boom, Brewers up 2-0 heading to Wrigley. Now I'm feeling good.
Right. Pretty good formula.
Yep.
But then the question I have is, okay, you get them the first, but then what about when they come up the second time?
What do you mean they come up the second time? Ashby goes through
Your
the first
top
6 batters.
left-handed part of your order. You get through it, but you're still, at some point, Priester's got to get him, right?
Yeah, exactly. But if you can...
So what, you just want to start fast and not let it happen? Or that's the question, because obviously Quinn is more apt and more in sync with starting games. I am not opposed to this, and I trust Murph. He has a great pulse on this team and understands what they're going to need to do. But you act as if, well, you get through that. Well, you're still going to have to face him. It's just going to be in the 3rd, 4th inning rather than the 1st, 2nd.
Yeah, but then you already have...
in the 6th, 7th.
It's all about eating innings and getting outs in the playoffs. And then Priester, say he only has to go 5 today, he's available in a clinching scenario, probably not for Game 3, but Game 4. He's available out of the bullpen potentially, able to come in. I feel like you just have more options if Ashby's able to get 2 innings right off the bat.
Okay, so can you guys explain the offensive output, all the doubles? Obviously you saw the highlights, but can you watched it live, I'm sure, Riley. Can you give me a taste of how that all played out?
Yeah, so the first inning, Matthew Boyd, I have some friends who are Cubs fans. They were pissed that Counsell put Matthew Boyd out there. He was on short rest, and he was serving up meatballs that first inning. Every pitch, because they got 3 doubles in the first inning on 6 pitches. Everything was right down the pipe, and then they were just drilling it to the gaps and down the lines. So then they started hot. And then every ground ball had eyes, made it to the outfield. Blake Perkins had an insane at-bat that went 12 pitches, drove a single up the middle. They were just playing Brewers baseball. Sal Frelick forced an error at second by hustling out an infield single. It was peak Murph ball. They put the pressure on the Cubs. The defense crumbled, having good at-bats, hitting line drives, and then you had Cubs fans crying that, they didn't hit home runs if the Cubs outslugged the Brewers the whole series. I'm feeling good. Cubs in 4. People say the way the Brewers play can't win in the playoffs. So far, through 1 game, not true.
Yeah, through 1 game.
Through 1 game. Long way to go.
I did think, because as the Craig Counsell, I wouldn't go so far as to say apologist, but I don't hold the same level of vitriol as the normal producer of the program who, as the folks in the YouTube comments are pointing out, is off yet again Clearly more days off than even Tausch and I combined at this point. I do find myself wondering if I need to inquire with HR on what his complement of days off is, because he sure has gone a lot. He obviously hates Craig Counsell with a white-hot passion. I will say Craig was very testy after the game about his decision on whom to pitch in Game 1. And at one point he said the entire organization was okay with it, which is not, that was a bad sign. And I believe, if I read the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel coverage accurately, that he had not been very good on short rest previously. So it was kind of a cross your fingers and hope that past history did not repeat itself, and obviously it did. So that's a shame. Hate to see that for all those Cubs fans. Tausch, we're going to talk more Brewers. As you mentioned, we've got Dom Cotronio of 620 WTMJ scheduled to appear later in the program at 11:15. We'll talk a little bit about the Packers as well as they return to practice. They'll practice at 10:30 this morning. Just a light little get back in the swing of things after the bye week. And then they will take on the foundering Cincinnati Bengals, who are having a very difficult time without their quarterback, having lost Joe Burrow for 3 months to a serious toe injury. We'll talk about that as well, but we can't talk about anything else until we've talked about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, when it comes to your home, the smart play is to trust Gina Della and her great team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And this month, you can score a whole house of new, energy-efficient Pella windows for as low as $297 a month, with zero interest for all the way up to 60 months. It's like a drive you can sustain for years, keeping your home comfortable thanks to the incredible defense played by Pella Windows, stopping all of those drafts getting out there. Don't wait now. Schedule that free consultation today at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions do apply.
I didn't think I'd ever see this happen. But in the ESPN Milwaukee chat on YouTube, B says, "No, Jesse, I'm out of here." Somebody's not listening or watching the show because Jesse's not on?
That might be his Aunt B.
It's a decision.
Like Andy Griffith.
It's a decision. Not sure it's a good one. Well, if you've decided to stick around, even without Jesse, we have more from Wilde and Tausch next. So stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
Who benefits the most from Micah Parsons being on the field? Secondary. Keyshawn Nix.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
If you're a quarterback, you've got to get the football out of your hands before you really want to do it. I mean, everybody's getting their wealth with this, but to me, I think it's really the guys in the secondary.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, get zero interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My new friend Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog custom t-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWspinecenter.com. That's OAWspinecenter.com.
Hey everybody, this is Stephen Bauer, CEO of the Guest House of Milwaukee. You know, homelessness isn't just a number. It represents our neighbors and our community. At Guest House of Milwaukee, we've spent decades helping people find stability, housing, and hope. On Thursday, November 13th, we invite you to our gala, A Night of Hope and Dignity. It's a night to stand with those working to overcome homelessness and those who support them. Join us. Tickets are available at guesthouseofmilwaukee.org, and together we can change lives.
Every great team starts with a strong defense, and the same's true in business. That's why companies trust Trend Micro for cybersecurity. From ransomware to phishing to the most advanced cyber threats, they help protect your network, your data, and your people. With over 35 years of expertise, Trend Micro has built a defensive playbook trusted by enterprises worldwide. Your business works too hard to get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right. That's trendmicro.com.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We'll circle back to the Brewers periodically throughout today's show as Tausch and Jesse. And you got a lot of friends going to the ball game tonight? Yeah, you.
Talking to Riley?
Co-host of the program. Yeah, no, you.
There's I think pretty much, if you're a Brewers fan and you have access tonight, you're going to the game. I'm going with three buddies. There's going to... I'm assuming everything has been sold out, and it sounds as if the Brewers held off Cubs fans pretty good on Saturday. I'm assuming that'll be the case again tonight, would be my hunch.
Riley, are you going? Are you one of Tausch's buddies?
I am unfortunately not going, but my dad is going, so that'll be awesome. I'll be watching in a bar with my pals tonight. So
I'll go boo in a bar.
Yeah, and when they show Craig Counsell, you're going to be the guy who boos at a bar.
Exactly.
The Packers return to work this morning as they are practicing at 10:30. We'll have locker room a little bit before noon. It was supposed to be later than that, but now it's not. Tausch, what's the biggest challenge when you come back from a bye week? Do you snap right back into it?
I don't think it's a huge challenge. It's on your mind. Obviously, you can decompress a little bit, but you just jump right back into it. I think it's always smart to kind of have a day like what Matt is having. You come in there for an hour and some change, move around, get back into kind of the swing of things. Nothing too detailed. It's more of you had 3-4 days off. Let's get you back in here. Let's get you moving. Let's get your mind back on football because you have a 13-game run here without any more breaks. You had your break. Now it's go time. So I don't think that, especially this early in the season, the big challenge is when, for the guys that fly home and go do stuff and are getting back to that nice sense of normalcy, you you're kind of at that, oh, boy, this is really nice, but everybody knows what time it is. And today will be a day to kind of reignite that part of your life.
So the Cincinnati Bengals started the season 2-0. They defeated
barely.
the Cleveland
Even with Burrow,
Browns
they stunk.
17-16. Then they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 31-27.
There can't be they can't play Browning on Sunday. They can't. He is a turnover machine, and so for Green Bay, I think everybody's got to just Jeff Hafley's got to be just absolutely salivating. No, you're not getting enough turnovers. You're not doing like that's going to be. I think this is going to be your talking point for the week. You got to get right. Your defense is really good, but you're not creating the turnovers, even that you did last year. Mm-hmm. Well, if they play Browning and they don't get turnovers, that's on them because he is a turnover machine. He throws the ball up. I think that Cincinnati game, which I found interesting. We're going up to the game. It is the hottest ticket in a long time. You talk to people that have tickets. Yes, it is a incredibly expensive ticket. The second market on it is crazy, and I'm trying to think like why. And I've gotten different answers from different people. Some have said, "Well, you haven't had a home game in forever." Well, it's going to be
a month.
What? Because then you go on the road for two more, right? Pittsburgh or Arizona and Pittsburgh. So you're going to have one home game. The weather is going to be fantastic. But I thought with Burrow, yes, it can be a sexy ticket. And when Burrow got hurt, he's missing a heck of a lot more time with his turf toe than you did. I thought, whatever. And it turns out this is going to be one of the probably most, until the playoffs, if Green Bay makes it, which I think they will, this is going to be one of the most expensive tickets that Lambeau has this season, probably outside of the opener against Detroit.
Since Joe Burrow's injury, the Cincinnati Bengals have lost to the Minnesota Vikings 48-10.
Yeah, it wasn't that close.
The Denver Broncos 28-3. And then that was the score yesterday until some cosmetic scores late. But it was 28-3 Lions. The ultimate final score was 37-24.
Yeah,
so they
You had three games that weren't that close. Cincinnati stinks.
To your point,
Cincinnati stinks.
Jake Browning-Nagel has thrown 8 interceptions. On the bright side, he hasn't lost a fumble. So he's got that going for him, which is nice. The Packers are 14.5-point favorites to open.
I don't think that's enough. All
right, I'd like to explore that further because I'm curious what you're basing that on. Because
Did you watch him play Detroit?
I did, and they ultimately won that game by 13 points.
By the way, the NFL needs to. I get it, man. They got to make money, and they get their NFL package, NFL Plus, and all this other stuff. When there's a good game on, like the Buccaneers in Seattle, let's get that. It's 28-3. All right, you're forcing us to watch because you think we're interested in markets close to us. All right, fine. I kind of understand.
Team,
I don't really
opponent.
I don't really understand it, but okay. When there's a big boy game on like that, let's go. Like, come on.
Well, that's why they want you to get the.
No, I understand. I understand.
It's the whole idea.
And red zone's fine, and all that's fine, but come on.
We'll discuss more why Tausch is so confident in a team that has gone 0-1-1 in its last 2 performances, although they are back at Lambeau Field where they've been pretty good. After Tausch tells us about the Tito's that Jesse and Up North Joe will be using to make their Harvey's wall bangers out in the parking lot at AmFam Field.
That was the text that we got this morning when I forgot. Sent Jesse 4 or 5 notes yesterday for the show. Riley says, hey, where's our show sheet? Ideas. And I said, I forgot Jesse's taking another day because he's having a Tito's with his boy up north, Joe, probably pretty soon. Going to mix it with a bloody. Probably going to go out and play a little golf today. Going to have a transfusion. And he can do whatever he wants tonight as a nightcap, hopefully for a big Brewers win, whether that's tonic, ginger ale. I like lemonade, cranberry. Tito's is always going to be in my glass as well. And Tito's gives back in a big way, partnering with nonprofits and doing real good in communities across the country, especially for our four-legged friends. So the next time you're raising a glass, make it with Tito's handmade vodka, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Can I ask a quick question? For as long as Tito's has been a partner, which is a long time, very loyal partner.
They're one of our founders. They're founding
I have never heard you drop a Tito's and tonic. Is that a new twist?
No, I've said it.
A lot of muddling. I don't remember tonic.
Yeah, we had the mojito phase, the Tito phase.
You went through Motito. All right. I was just curious. That stuck out to me.
Okay.
It also stuck out to me that Mark Tauscher, Packers Hall of Famer, said, when I said it was a 14.5-point line per ESPN bet, that's not big enough. He will explain himself, other than saying, have you not watched the games? Next.
Usually is a good indicator.
It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Saturday, October 11th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Mentality is hosting a health fair at 2323 North Mayfair Road in Wauwatosa. Take a free cognitive test, the first of its kind FDA-approved brain health screening in just 10 minutes, and get labs with a donation. Plus amazing giveaways, and here's the best part. It all supports Ignite the Spirit, helping Milwaukee's firefighters and their families. Mentality clinics are backed by science and delivered with care. Mark your calendar for Mentality's Milwaukee Health Fair, Saturday, October 11th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Be there.
Penalty flags? Not here. Carbless is the clean play that every football fan can agree on. With 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories, you get all the flavor without the penalty. Whether you're tailgating outside the stadium, hosting a crew at home, or watching solo in your lucky jersey, Carbless brings premium cocktails right into the huddle. Made to be refreshingly delicious and game day ready, Carbless keeps fans cheering from kickoff to the final whistle. So this season, skip the sugar, skip the carbs, and make the winning call. Find your bliss with Carbless.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Zero restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and football season is here. Are you ready to make some money? My Week 0 plays were absolutely on fire. 13-2 across all sports during Saturday of Week 0. Now it's Week 1 of the college football season. Are you ready to make money? Go to FatJackSports.com. It's less than $100 a week to turn a profit betting the games. All the games are documented, they're posted, and you'll get a recommended betting guide that will help you make money betting on sports this week. FatJackSports.com. Sign up today and win this weekend.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Jazzy Riley playing all the hits today as we get ready for Brewers-Cubs game 2. Hopefully, the Brewers can do the same thing to the Cubs, as I've seen the Toronto Blue Jays do to the New York Yankees, bludgeoning them in back-to-back games. I want to ask Tausch about that a little bit later in the program, but I want Tausch to explain himself. Defend your position. I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's a really big spread in an NFL game, is it not? You don't see 14 and a half very often.
Anything over 2 scores, I think people start looking at it because, as you mentioned yesterday, Detroit dominated that game, and they gave some stuff up late. I get it, and professional sports is a competitive. There's a lot of upsets. You saw it with college this weekend with Penn State not only not covering but getting their blanks beat out in UCLA, which
that was awesome, by the way.
UCLA I thought was the worst team in college football, and it turns out Penn State's worse, at least on that Saturday. So that's why I kind of take a beat. All right, I thought the spread would be right about where it's at. But you just get the sense with where Green Bay is and the fact it's a home game and the fact you've had 2 really disappointing performances by your offense against Cleveland and your defense against the Dallas Cowboys. And then special teams-wise, it's been disappointing. This has all the markings to me of an absolute drubbing. So 14.5, 20.5, whatever it might be, I would bet by the end of the week, usually when you see a number that big, 14.5, you'll end up seeing it kind of trickle down to under 2 scores. I bet this gets closer to 16.5 before the end of the week than it does 13.5. Maybe I'll be wrong.
So the Bengals' other option at quarterback at the moment is Brett Rippon.
Oh, God. I mean, he was in Minnesota, and we said he had no business. Wasn't he with Minnesota? He had no business playing.
And and if I recall correctly, he had played for a while, and then Kevin O'Connell didn't want to play him either. But you know who the next option is? Sean Clifford.
Sean Menenga. Okay.
Not Sean Menenga, no. But I kind of want to see Sean Clifford get a shot. Can't be worse. Can he? I mean, maybe he can, but I don't think so. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, Cincinnati is they're in big trouble. I thought their defense, they obviously still have Trey Hendrickson. I would trade Trey Hendrickson if I was them.
Trey Hendrickson would appreciate if they did that. They also have Mike White at quarterback, by the way.
They're done. Their season's over. When Joe Burrow got hurt, you put all your eggs in that basket of that trio. I still think they needed to focus more on running the football and implementing, getting some younger guys on. We'll break down Cincinnati more as we go. Probably not a ton more though, because this needs to be a throttle. This needs to be a throttle game. This needs to be a no doubter, and I think defensively, this needs to be the start. The defense has been really good, obviously, except for that Dallas game. This needs to be the start of that snowball building. It's going to hopefully start getting colder, although looks like it might not freeze now until middle of November, which is insane. But let's build that snowball of getting turnovers. You want to get right? Play this group with Browning, with Clifford, with whomever they're going to put in there at quarterback. They don't run the ball. They're going to throw it. Jamar Chase is going to be a huge challenge, obviously, at T. Higgins and everything else. But this needs to be the start of that big old snowball, and let's get that puppy rolling. Let's get a little something building as we get moving, because defensively, you're not going to win a championship creating the limited amount of turnovers that Green Bay has so far. That needs to ramp up, and this is the perfect week for that to happen.
When you look, you're going 1-0 every week. You've learned from Shido getting admonished for his undefeated talk, which, by the way, no one
players look at it that way. I'm looking at this as a no doubt. You're going to get right in Arizona with that debacle yesterday.
Yeah, losing to the previously winless Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee's bad. Tennessee's a really bad football team, and you had to literally give them the game. They gave them
21-3. They were leading.
Well, that should have been 28-3 there too, right? Or 27, whatever it was. Kid drops the ball. I don't understand what. Is it that fun to drop the ball right before you score a touchdown?
No, I don't think it's fun. No, fun.
That's
is
outside.
Not the word.
That's a young person's thing. That's not my deal. I can't speak on that because I think it's insane. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But Arizona, we'll worry about Arizona next week. I think Cincinnati. This is going to be one of those. I think everybody.
I thought we were snowballing. That was why I mentioned them, because what I wanted to ask you, because you just said you don't have to go 1-0 every week. So I thought we were going to say.
No, as a media member. No. I said as a player, 100% the right man. But that's not what I do. I'm analyzing ahead. Shido shouldn't say that they go 17. I can.
Right. So don't go back to the Bengals. I want to ask you, do you think that they are set up well for this snowballing? Because lurking around the corner, you've got the Bengals, then you've got the Cardinals, who just gave up a lead. And was that game at home on top of it? Lost to the Tennessee Titans. But then, old boy is next in Pittsburgh. And then after that, you've got the Carolina Panthers, who once again stink. So if you believe that you can beat the Aaron Rodgers-led Steelers, and we're not players who have to worry about going 1-0 every week, there is an outlook here of a potential 4-game winning streak to get on, heading into that big-time Monday night matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles, who also lost yesterday.
So here's the deal. This team is not good enough for me to say that at this point. This is a good team at home. What we've seen so far is they're not a good road team. And those are the facts. I can sit here and think and hope. What do they say? You can hope in one end and take a bump in the other.
Other. Yeah.
And so you could sit here and believe all that. Now, should these next 2 weeks be relatively like room service type stuff. Yeah, it should be, but that, the NFL's not like that. That's not how it works.
Any given Sunday.
And until this team can go and win on the road and play a good football game on all three phases, I am going to sit here and be skeptical of what they do. Now, will I predict that they beat Arizona? Yeah, I don't think Arizona's very good either.
No, they don't appear to be.
I think they're better than the team coming in here next week. I think Cincinnati, sans Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson, I don't think it's a great roster. And I think that you're going to see Green Bay's youth and enthusiasm and depth completely pummel what the Cincinnati Bengals are going to try to do. So that's why. But I am not going to sit here and say, they're going to run 4 in a row. No. I think they're going to smash Cincinnati, and then I think there's going to be question marks. Can you go win on the road? There's going to be heat. Are you going to drink pickle juice? How many days early are we going to go? There are going to be 100 different storylines. Kyler Murray. There will be storyline on storyline until Green Bay proves otherwise. I think all Packer fans should have a smidge of skepticism when it goes to road games.
All right, we'll talk more about the Packers and the Brewers as we roll on. The Badgers, meanwhile, while Tausch was calling the game with Matt LePay, I watched most of that. I even missed most of the Brewers' runs.
What'd you think?
Well, let's talk about it next. What do you think? What do you think of that? How do you feel about that?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, before we can do that, I need to tell you about Lakeland Supply, who has been an awesome partner. They jumped on board with the show a little bit earlier this year, and we've thoroughly enjoyed our partnership with them. Vince is great, and they're great if you're in the industrial supply space and need their help. Core values are an important piece to any successful business, and Lakeland Supply is no different. They've been displaying their core values in that industrial supply space for over 40 years. Integrity, excellence, stewardship, partnership, and faith. They're ISO certified, a Future 50 winner, top rated in customer service, and believe in giving back to their community. Lakeland isn't one of those catalog companies either. They work to be your packaging and supply expert, building plans around what you want. Lakeland Supply is in business to make your business better. So set up a free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com. We'll talk a little bit about what the Badgers did and didn't do, and the surprising critique that I was seeing on social media after their loss at Michigan. Next, it's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
This year, it just feels different.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Keep it to WTMJ as the Brewers fight their way to a pennant throughout the run of the playoffs. Brewers playoff coverage is presented by the Narrow Spine Center of Wisconsin and by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
The teams are ready to go. The question is, are you ready? HD TVs in every room. Check. Blue and gold flag out front. Check. Grill ready to fire up. Check. Chips, dips, check, and check. Now the real planning begins. A trip to Discount Liquor to complete your Milwaukee baseball party or tailgate. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Is beer on the menu? We'll set you up with your favorite or recommend something new. We have over 2,000 to choose from. What about liquor? Our variety is unmatched, as is our selection of wine. So if you want it, we've got it. Discount Liquor is your Milwaukee baseball playoff party headquarters. Discount Liquor has everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2.
Discount Liquor.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. The Island invites you to experience the best of fall golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. Fall golf rates run through the end of the 2025 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay and play packages from $125. And submit your 2026 golf package request early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
You are quite the DJ over there. Changing things up when Jesse's away. Good work by our cousin sub of the day, Cousin Subs. We believe in better, Riley Yauk. All right, Tausch. Badgers march right down the field. I have to admit, I did not read my State Journal coverage during the course of the week leading up to Saturday's game as closely as I might normally. Did we know that a quarterback change was coming? Was that out there, or was that a surprise?
I mean, some of us had an idea that was going to happen. I
would hope you would, yeah.
I think there was the thought process that, obviously Hunter came in, did a nice job the last drive, but you're always trying to find different sparks when things are, going a certain way. And I think eventually about the middle of that week, they were splitting reps, and I don't know when Luke and his staff decided to make that switch, but in watching practice, you had an idea that there was some thoughts of making that move. Yeah.
So you make the move. Well, not you, the Badgers coaches do, and then you open the game with a touchdown drive.
Pretty good.
And you and Matt LePay are feeling pretty good on the Varsity app. And I got to be honest, look, I don't have, I want to listen to you guys because I want to support my friends. 1, 2, I am not a Gus Johnson guy. I'm not. It's not my cup of tea. So I was glad to be listening to you guys. Then I had a little bit of a glitch in my syncing, so that'll get that fixed. But what are you thinking? I mean, I'm not sitting there going, they're going to go to the big house and win. But for the first time in forever, I was like, all right, here we go. All right, this is interesting. This is different. And then they never scored another touchdown the rest of the way. What did you think of that performance?
It got to be tough sledding. I was really impressed with kind of the way, obviously went with a new center. There was a new right guard, I believe, for part of the, in the beginning of that game. So you're moving guys around, and I think the goal was to, really get back to kind of what Wisconsin football is about and trying to run the football and then do some things. And I thought you executed that drive was executed at a really high level. And unfortunately, Michigan is incredibly talented. They have a lot of guys. And what we saw throughout the end of that game, their wide out McCulley is an absolute stud.
Mm-hmm.
He made 2 or 3 of the best catches. One of them was just completely contested. Another was just a freak show. I could not believe that he got his foot in bounds. And then their tailback is an absolute game wrecker. So eventually we got worn down. Defensively, I thought the guys competed their tails off. I thought the whole team, coming in, there's been a tough 2 weeks. There have been a lot of shrapnel thrown at not only the staff, but the players and everybody involved. And I thought the way that the group came out of the chute, and really for most of the game, it was a high compete. It was just a matter of Michigan had too many playmakers, and we couldn't sustain anything. I think after that first drive, we had 1 6-play drive. We had, I want to say 6, 7 3-and-outs throughout the rest of the game, and that is putting a lot on your defense when you have a running quarterback and a great tailback with a great wide receiver. It just became too much for Wisconsin to hold up, and that's why we ended up getting beat.
So I did not hear this live because I was listening to you guys, and quite frankly, I also had the Brewers on. I'd stopped watching TV. I then had the Brewers game on the television while I was writing, and I had you and Matt on the Varsity app. But apparently, and Jeff points this out in the YouTube comments too, and I had seen this later in the day, Joel Klatt, who was the Tausch of the TV call, was dumbfounded by Fickell not using his timeouts at the end. And I'm curious what kind of conversation you guys had afterward, and what his thought process was there, because I thought he explained it in a reasonable way after the game from what I read, but he was, it bothered me for this reason. We finally felt, I know there's no moral victories, but it felt like something positive had happened. You didn't get run out of the gym. You scored on the opening drive. Your defense played a pretty damn good game given what they were up against. And then the narrative afterward is, Luke Fickell he gave up. And I was like, and look, Michael, it wasn't just bots. It was like people that are Badgers fans once again. And I thought, what a crappy way for the narrative to shift in a game where you actually felt there was encouraging signs. That was how I felt.
Yeah, it was, here's kind of just from our perspective, you're down 14. I think it was 2 minutes and 23 seconds left. Michigan gets the ball. You get onside kick, and Michigan recovered it. And I looked up at the scoreboard because I didn't think Wisconsin had used any timeouts. I just wanted to make sure, because sometimes the holes are filled in, and then sometimes they're empty up on the scoreboard. But if there's dashes, I always say, okay, they have 3 timeouts. And I literally asked Matt as it was going, I said, well, we have 3 timeouts, right? Because, at that point, I would think you'd use the timeouts, right? That's kind of how things go. Now, Luke explained it after the game, and Luke, he is going to have a lot of questions about that. And I agree with you. The unfortunate part is that became the narrative. Was Wisconsin going to come back and win that game?
Spoiler alert,
I would say no.
Yeah.
But Wisconsin sports fans have seen some things.
Usually going against them in those.
When you think about how that all played out, I don't think many Seattle fans probably thought they were going to win that NFC Championship game down 16 and I know that was a longer period of time.
Correct.
But I will be curious on what Luke has to say at his press conference, which I think is this afternoon, on how that goes, because he talked about the offense getting the ball. Well, typically you use your timeouts on defense to get the offense the ball. The offense can control some things, getting the ball out of bounds and things like that.
Yep.
Again, it was a 14-point game.
And his guys were gassed. That was part of his argument, too.
The oddest part of the whole thing was I legit was thinking Seinfeld, and it was almost like Bizarro World. Because when you watch the end of that game, you kind of thought Michigan was behind because they were going to score.
Right.
They could have taken a knee. They could have taken a knee right at the 2-minute timeout after they got that first down, because then you take a knee. Wisconsin wasn't using their timeouts, and you could have ended the game. But instead, they hurried up, and it was almost like they were trying to go down and score to go up 21 in a game that they would just kneel it out and win.
Yeah,
it literally was like
either.
the two different cafes and the two different. It was like, what am I missing here? So
Bizarro George.
I'll be curious what Luke has to say again after a couple of days. It's always, you always, when you answer questions after games, there's a lot of emotion and things like that. So after a couple of days, what his commentary will be on that.
All right. Jesse's not in today. He has taken a day off for no reason whatsoever. Riley Yauk is not only our cousin sub of the day, but he did some research to start the 10 o'clock hour for us. I'll give you the insight that he has gleaned from the past 6 seasons, but only after Tausch tells us about how his weekend went on Prize Picks. Was it good to be right, or were you wrong?
I am glad to say I didn't have a rushing touchdown for DeMarcado, the dude from Arizona, because could you imagine if you had a rushing touchdown, 0.5, and you went more on DeMarcado, and he would have had it had he not dropped the ball in front of the end line, how upset you'd be. But I'll tell you, it does make the game more fun. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made simple, and you pick more or less on at least 2 player stat projections, like Josh Allen's passing yards. I think it would have been less last night. Saquon Barkley finding the end zone. I think he did. And you know what's beautiful about Prize Picks? It's quick and easy. You can set a lineup less than a minute. Get the option to stack a single player across different stat lines. If you want to play it safe, you can go with Flex Play. You want that big payout? Try Power Play. No matter how you play, Prize Picks makes it fun all season long. Withdrawals, they're fast, safe, and secure. Apple Pay, Venmo, and more. That's why millions are on America's #1 fantasy sports app. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that is code WI for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 play. Prize Picks. It is good
to be right.
To be right. Oh, there you go.
I never know. The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch. I know this starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family-owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Is back pain slowing you down? The OAW Spine Center offers specialized care with advanced treatments for herniated discs, spinal fusion, and more. Their board-certified orthopedic care specialists use the least invasive methods, starting with non-surgical options. If surgery is needed, they provide minimally invasive procedures. The OAW Spine specialists focus on getting you back to an active lifestyle faster. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit oawspinecenter.com.
Looking to heat up a career in HVAC? Dick & Trough Heating and Cooling in Milwaukee is now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Family owned and operated, Dick & Trough offers competitive wages, a 401k match, health insurance benefits, and a winning, positive team culture that sets them apart. This is more than a job. It's a chance to grow with a company that truly values its people. Apply now to become their newest team member at dickandtrough.com. Dick & Trough Heating and Cooling. Come see the difference. Apply at dickandtrough.com.
In football, what does every great team start with?
A strong defense. Same's true in business.
Defense against what?
Cyber threats. That's why companies use Trend Micro.
What do they actually protect?
Your network, your data, your people, from ransomware, phishing, and more.
So it's not just antivirus?
Not at all. Trend Micro has a full defensive playbook trusted worldwide for over 35 years.
Sounds like the kind of defense every business needs.
Exactly. Don't get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch begins now. And it begins with Riley Yao. He's a young go-getter.
He is.
He's an eager beaver. So, Riley, tell the good people of Wilde and Tauschland the research that you did in preparation for today's program.
Yes. So I got to give our content manager, Ashton Rotman, the credit for the idea. He said to
Ashman.
Consider checking out Matt LaFleur's record after bye weeks as a potential topic of discussion today. So I looked it up. I checked it out. And Matt LaFleur is an even 3-3 in the past 6 years.
So, Ashton, it tells us nothing.
Yeah.
He's got an equal chance of winning or losing.
Unfortunately, however, it appears there's been some growth over the past 6 years as his first 2 games after bye weeks. First, the 49ers. It was a massive loss, 37-8 in his first season at the helm in 2019. 2020 got smoked by the Buccaneers, 38-10 after the bye week. Then
75-18 in those 2 games.
Yeah. And then maybe started to figure it out over the next 2 seasons. I mean, granted, he got to play the Bears in his 3rd season, 45-30. Still a lot of points given up after the bye. Yeah, in 2022, the Rams, 24-12. And then lost to the Broncos a couple years ago, 19-17, which is an interesting score. And finally, last year, thankfully got to play the Bears again, and by a fingertip, won that game 20-19. So maybe LaFleur's starting to figure it out a little bit.
Although, so they've won 3 of their last 4 after
yes.
Buys.
Yep.
All right, so what do we learn from that?
Nothing.
Yeah, okay. That was the question I put on the show sheet. Does this say anything at all?
No. All right, what's next? What's your next topic on that? So I do think, and everybody gets caught up in all that because what you're hoping for, well, Andy Reid is 11-4 coming off of a bye week. Well, what you're trying to showcase is our coach is really smart, and you give him extra time, they're going to be so well prepared and so blah, blah, blah. And that's great, and there is probably some value to that. But a lot of it does come down to, well, who are you playing? Are you playing at home or on the road? Mm-hmm. But you try and get sample sizes of things that will let you make some type of estimation on what this is going to be. And what this tells me is it doesn't tell you anything. It tells me Matt LaFleur is 500 either way. And, yeah, maybe he's gotten a little bit better with what he's, how he's approached this. But for this week and for how this goes, I'll be incredibly disappointed if it's not 4-3 after this week, and by a substantial amount because of who you're playing, when you're playing and what guys are out. Again, the schedule is what it is. When you get it, everybody's excited. Mm-hmm. But it really is not about who you're playing. It's about when you're playing them. Because I would bet right now that when the Houston Texans got their schedule and they said, oh, week 5, oh, boy, we're going into what's Baltimore known for? Crab cakes. We're going into Crab Cake City.
And football. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson and that great defense and all this. We have no chance. And then they're ahead 35-0. Because Lamar's not playing and Stanley's not playing. They got all these guys out. That's what this comes back to. So it does try. I understand why Ashley wanted to do that, because you want to get a glimpse. Was Matt LaFleur really good coming out of the bye? And it turns out the answer is he is a 500 coach, which isn't anywhere near what his record is on the whole. So I'd actually say if I had to, I would say this is probably a negative that he's only 500.
He is 1-3 coming out of the bye playing on the road. 2-0 when playing at home after the bye, and the Packers are playing at home on Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals, who obviously will not be having their star quarterback, Joe Burrow, under center as he is out for 3 months. 3 months! With a toe surgery. At the same time, Matt LaFleur, I guess he's not undefeated after bye weeks when playing at home, because he once had the most important bye in the history of football. And then they scored one offensive touchdown in that loss to the San Francisco 49ers. But I had a lot of people asking me on our various shows, including on WTMJ, where obviously it's not quite as hardcore sports, as you know, with Vinny and the boys in the morning. And I was asked about, well, how did practice go this week during the week off? And I had to say, no, Monday, they're out of there. But when you were playing, and this is what I explained, like Mike Sherman used to like hold the bye over you. Like, hey, you win in the game before the bye, and, you're going to have a little extra time off. You lose. Like, I swear there was one year where he practiced the team on Wednesday and Thursday, and then you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday off for the bye, and then you're back to work on Monday. I swear that happened. And then, obviously, in the CBA now, it is uniformity. You have the week off, period, fin, because the NFLPA negotiates the important stuff like that as opposed to lifelong health insurance coverage, etc. Is this better? Is it better? It's obviously better for the players. They get to go, Micah Parsons gets to go to the Texas State Fair and shoot hoops on the Midway and go to Edgerrin Cooper's horse farm. But having played in an era where there was some practice before you got time off, did that increase the likelihood of you being sharper coming out of the bye, or did it have no effect?
Just wait. You're asking if getting a full week off is better than practicing?
Well, I understand getting a full week off is better for your leisure. Is it better for you as a football player that you work at least a little bit before you get your time off? In terms of your actual execution coming out of the bye, where the Packers are 3-3 under Matt LaFleur. Under this policy, by the way, where they're off all the time. The whole week.
Get out of there. No, you're doing 17 weeks. You're going to have a 13 streak run here. You're not going to get a lot. So you can preach mentality and, get to work. Guys know when it's, time to go. And this, especially with the new CBA, players just want to get out. You're not interested. Go do some fundamental work. And, no, get out, get refreshed. This is about getting a mental break. And even though the timing of the bye, I think, stinks for Green Bay, especially with that tie and the fact that these guys would have been chomping to get back out there, now you're asking them to run 13 in a row, and you want them practicing on Wednesday and Thursday?
No. No. All right, wait a minute now. I didn't say I wanted them practicing. No.
Well, you
I
asked
never
the question
said
like there
I
was
want
like
them
there was even a
practicing.
semblance of an answer that would lean that way. Like, no.
I think Mike Sherman's record coming out of the bye is
Mike
better
Sherman
than Matt
was coaching
LaFleur's.
in the mid-2000s, bro. It's 2025. You're not even.
Are you
the
really,
last 10 years? You're not even
gonna
allowed
make
to
an issue of this and tell me, A, that I want them practicing. I don't care.
Well, why
I don't
would
care
you?
if they practice
well,
or
Jason,
not.
you know the answer. You know the
I
answer.
don't
to that
actually.
question.
I would love to
come
take a week
on.
off. Is Jesse a better
Come on.
producer with all the days off he takes? I'm not sure. But my point is that, look, to me, I would rest my guys and give them a great opportunity to hit the reset button because they have a death march ahead of them now. 13 straight weeks of games. You do not want a week 4 bye. So no, I'm not saying that I want them running gassers and doing Oklahoma drills during the bye week. But there was a time not that long ago where coaches still controlled your schedule. Even during your career. 08, 09, 10, it was like that.
Yeah, I've been out a while. There's also a time that Bear Bryant didn't let guys get water. So, Jason, do you think it was better for players when they got to drink water during practice? Like, I get what you're saying, and I understand.
You're such a jerk.
Well, how am I being a jerk? Like, this is what's mandated, and if you're
played
asking
like
me, I
crap
think
offensively in your loss to the Browns. You played like crap defensively in your tie that felt like a loss with the Cowboys. I'm sorry for thinking.
Maybe Micah and Edgerrin had some tackling dummies down at the horse ranch and said, "You know something? Let's get the whole crew. Let's get Van Ness. Let's get everybody out here to work on getting guys down on the ground because we didn't tackle well enough, and we need to do some Charles Tillman peanut punches over there by the hay bale, and an assault block. And this is what we need to do to get better so we can go beat Cincinnati." That's what Jason. Is that what you're advocating for? Because
I'm advocating.
Yes, just like when guys do commercials and they have this. Well, these guys should be doing this. Yes, you get better at playing football by playing football, but you also get better by playing football by getting a mental break and coming in recharged and juiced up. And when you go and you're going to be doing it for this, it was 4 weeks. It would be ideal if it was another 3 or 4 games, and then you get that break. That's not what happened. And if you want, I bet there's some young guys that probably stayed around Green Bay and just went to work, got back early, worked out in a really nice casual, not the high-stress environment. Go play some pickleball. Maybe that's what some guys did, but I think that the mental part of this is as important, if not more so, than the physical side of getting a couple more reps in. You got a Monday practice. You got a bonus practice this week. Yeah, I think you should give water to guys. I think guys should, when they're hurt, they should not play. And I think in a bye week, you should get out of town and get mentally recharged. If that makes me new-aged and soft, so be it.
I'm not advocating for anything other than for you to tell us about your love of Coors Light.
Riley, when he asked that question, was he not kind of leading like the Packers should have stuck around and done some ball stripping drills?
It's against the rules. So clearly I am not advocating. All I'm asking
Jason,
is if
did
there's
you change your
value
name to
in
Riley?
it or not.
Oh. Riley, am I crazy?
I think you misinterpreted Jason's meaning. I think you're trying to get on Jason a little bit.
Here's the deal. I think I need to be a bigger jerk.
No,
I think I need to be a bigger
you're
jerk.
Sufficiently jerky.
I think I just have been noticing things like Hunter and Jesse and Riley. Why people are so scared of you is amazing.
Maybe you're just wrong.
No, whether you're tailgating pregame. No, it's not. It's not. Whether you're tailgating pregame, enjoying your experience during the game, or celebrating a big Brewers win tonight, and you just need a moment to chill, crack open that Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. It's brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it is made to chill. It's only 102 calories. That's why it is always Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Yeah, I think, you know what? If the Bengals end up beating Green Bay this weekend, I think it's going to be because the boys went down to the state fair and they weren't doing 9-on-7 on Thursday afternoon up in Green Bay on their bye week. That's what I heard from what Jason just said.
We will hear from Matt LaFleur. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Hi, it's Jason Wilde from Wilde Tausch, inviting you to join me July 5th on a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. We'll take in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. Imagine standing before Big Ben in London, then later gazing out from Edinburgh Castle. So rich in history, it feels like you're stepping back in time. Along the way, we'll explore the storybook villages of Chester and Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon, places where every street seems to whisper a piece of history. And how about a scenic train ride through the rolling green hills that lead us right into the medieval city of York? It's all part of this incredible journey. From iconic landmarks to cozy villages, from bustling city streets to peaceful countryside views, you'll experience the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty, and create memories that last a lifetime. To learn more about this amazing adventure, text TRAVEL to 800-990-3776 or visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com for full details.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and when it comes to my home, I want a team that I can trust, and that's Lifetime Home Services. From cleaner air and radon safety to custom closets, window treatments, and home renovations, they do it all under one roof. What I'm most excited about right now is their epoxy floors. They make your garage clean, durable, and organized with shelving and storage options to get everything off the floor. For over 30 years, families just like ours have trusted Lifetime Home Services to make their homes safer and better looking. Trusted solutions, lifetime results. Schedule today at lifetimehomeservices.com. Make Tsunami Express Car Wash part of your fall game plan. With 7 Milwaukee area locations, including our newest in New Berlin, we've always got your ride covered. Sign up online today and get your very first wash free. That's a $25 value, absolutely free. At Tsunami Express, you'll enjoy premium washes, free vacuums, and detailing tools to keep that car looking sharp and game day ready. Don't wait to get in on the action. Claim your free car wash right now at tsunamiexpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
So the last time we talked to Matt LaFleur was last Tuesday. We did not get the coordinators, which we normally get during the bye week. Didn't get the general manager. I assume he'll talk maybe after the trade deadline, hopefully, or maybe not. But Matt LaFleur said something that I found to be really interesting. The admission that even in the games that they've won, he doesn't think they've played a complete game. Here is Matt LaFleur talking about where this team stands during the bye week.
You can look at our record right now. We're 2-1-1. Are we disappointed we're not better? Absolutely. But I still think even in the 2 games that we won, I don't think we've put together a full game of complementary football. So we've got to somehow, some way, be able to do that collectively in all 3 phases where we're putting our best out there.
Tausch, if they don't run the Cincinnati Bengals out of the gym, because if I recall correctly, and again, I would hate to be accused of being a dink, but I think your expectations for the Cowboys game vis-a-vis what actually happened, I don't think you were expecting both teams to put up a 40-burger. The Packers did, though. Yeah. What exactly do they have to do, and what if they don't do what you think they have to do to make you feel better about where they're headed? Like, they could any given Sunday, you could certainly lose. I don't foresee that happening on Sunday, given where the Bengals are at right now. My question is, what do they have to do for you to feel really good, and how are you going to feel if they don't do it?
I mean, I'll be disappointed if defensively they don't create at least a couple of turnovers and absolutely get after Cincinnati without Joe Burrow. And I think on the other side of it, you saw what Detroit was able to do to them. I think Green Bay's offense took a really good step against a bad Dallas defense. So this isn't where I'm not panicking. I don't sense any panic in Matt LaFleur.
I don't either.
We just finished September football. And yes, we analyze and we go over everything and we cover every quote and we, that's what we do. That's not what the teams and the players, they look at everything and they analyze it, but there's not this, oh my God, it's let's get this fixed. Because I don't know any coach that wants to be playing its best ball in September. If you're playing perfect football in September, hey, kudos to you.
There's nowhere to go but down.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that. And as far as the complimentary football goes, I thought in Washington they played pretty good complimentary football. When they needed to go down and score, they did. Then they got to stop, and it was but outside of that, I think you look at the Dallas game, and I just view that as a blip. Until I see more of what this defense is, I am not anticipating, even though Cincinnati's got 2 of the best wideouts as a 1-2 combo that we're going to see. I just don't know if they have a distributor that can do it consistently. Now, if this was Dak Prescott with these wideouts, I would say, okay, it could be an old shootout. Even if CD had played in that Dallas game, I'd say, all right, But with where Cincinnati is, there is no result outside of a loss that I'll be like, oh, my God, we stink and we can't do it. It's more about let's start seeing what this football team is going to be. Because I've seen and I thought I knew, and then I was rattled after what I saw the last time this team went out. Shook, rattled, and now I'm rolling it into what I think is just this going to be just a good old-fashioned whooping on Sunday. But this team is built to be dominant on defense and an offense that will get better and better and better as their players, Jaden Reed, Watson, you can get healthy with Banks and hopefully Zach Tom. That offense is going to continue to get better, and hopefully by early December, we're talking about a complete football team that plays complementary football. And until that happens, I would still expect this defense to be the bell cow of what this team is going to be.
I will tread lightly as I ask about how things used to be as opposed to how things are now. However, you were on some teams that were really crappy in September. I think you made the playoffs twice after 1-4 starts.
Yeah.
You were the epitome, your teams under Mike Sherman, the epitome of when Matt LaFleur said, I don't want to be playing our best football in September, I wasn't going to interrupt him, but I kind of wanted to say, well, congratulations, you're not. When you look at what your teams were able to do, probably because you practiced a little bit during the bye week, why were you able to turn things around?
Yeah, that's well, I think as you figure out what you're good at and what you're going to be, you start crafting that and you get better and better at it, and everybody kind of understands their role. And for us, it wasn't, we weren't as young of a team as obviously this group is, but there is some jostling and some moving around and trying to figure out, all right, when you add a Micah Parsons, how is this going to affect the rest of the defense? And when your offensive line, I think when you look at, I want to say it was probably 03 and 04 were both the seasons we were 1-4 and we ended up making the playoffs. And there was a season I think we were 1-4, 0-5, and we ended up 4-12.
Right.
We knew that we needed to be the catalyst for what we were going to do. And I think we felt good about our group and that we would be able to run the football and that we would be able to, make some big plays with jaywalk or drive. And once we got to that point, that's when you can start taking that next step. And right now, I would ask offensively, what are we? What is this team? What does this team hang its hat on? And you can do that with the Badgers. You can do that with, you can do that with the Green Bay Packers. I think you can do that with pretty much every NFL football team through September because nobody does anything in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
So things have gotten pushed back even a little bit more. And right now, I don't know what I'd answer. If you said Green Bay hangs its hat on what offensively? What's the answer to that question?
Short, effective passing game and guys getting yards after the catch. Because it's not the downfield game, and it's not running the football effectively. Now, I would ask you,
it's not play action.
It's not play action. I would ask you, look, in the second half against Dallas, now, it's one half, but they had 100-plus rushing yards just between Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson. Josh Jacobs, who's averaging 3.3 yards a carry, and who averaged 1.9 yards a carry in the Browns game, and averaged 2 yards a carry, 8 for 16 in the first half against the Cowboys, carried 14 times for 70 yards in the second half. Emmanuel Wilson had 38 yards, I think he had in the second half. Could that be the catalyst to getting that part going? Because if you ask me what their offensive identity was last year, it was Josh Jacobs running the you-know-what out of the football and Jordan Love making key plays at key moments and not making critical mistakes. Yeah. That's what their identity was. That has not been their identity thus far.
Yeah, and my point is why teams figure things out is you don't know these answers yet. And that doesn't make you a bad football team. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be a good football team. You're trying to figure this out as you go, and you can practice and you can play games and you can hope what your plans are going to be, and then you can see, well, teams are going to do this in an idea to stop that. What is our next play going to? What is our next thing going to be? And until you get to the point where Philadelphia is going through this right now, and they were 4-0 until they got beat yesterday. They don't know what the hell they are on offense. Last year it was Saquon and that O-line.
Yeah.
This year it ain't. And they're struggling. But they're still 4-1. And I think everybody will take that. But you want to see that it's going in the right direction. And I thought last game, offensively, obviously, it was. Now, you were playing a really bad defense, and that helps. What is it going to be when you're playing a good defense? What is your thing going to be? So that's why there's no panic over there, because I think Matt LaFleur feels as if once he gets the O-line figured out, that to me, and I've said this all offseason, and I said it all, or at least all during training camp, if that group is good, everything's going to work here. They haven't been as good as we thought. Their depth and their injuries have hurt them. They haven't played as well in the interior of the O-line as I thought they would, and part of that is injury. But if that gets better, and I think we all anticipate it will, then they're going to have a ton of different options on how to win games. But if it's not, you said short, effective passing, SAP. Yeah, that's great. That ain't gonna get you where you want to go. If somebody tells me, oh boy, we have a very strong, short, effective passing game, defensive coordinators are gonna laugh at you. Ha! Well, that's cute. What are you gonna do when you get a holding penalty? What are you gonna do when you have a lost yardage play? What's your best offensive strategy? Just give the ball back to your defense. Let them make a play. Short, effective passing. SAP. There you go.
I think effective starts with an E.
Maybe SEP.
Effective. AFFECTIVE.
Okay. All right. Tell us about AmFam and how great they are.
You didn't say effective. You said effective. Riley?
You're right. I'm 100% wrong. My fault for not enunciating.
Don't you dare patronize me. Don't you dare. I'm not going to patronize you with American Family Insurance either, because we love them. They have been a proud partner of Wilde Tausch since the jump. And since 1927, they have been committed to making life better with outstanding home and auto protection. Very effective when you're looking to get things insured. American Family does that. Also, you're free to enjoy your dreams, so insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.
We will play a little game of Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank and hosted by Riley Yauk. Next, it's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
At Great Midwest Bank, we've been serving Southeast Wisconsin homeowners for 90 years. Wait, 2025 minus 1935, 90 years. Wow. In our 90 years as a community bank, we've learned a lot about the values of the people who live and work here and appreciate the loyal customers that have made Great Midwest Bank who we are today. Find a location at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only. And you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered. With fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel, Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on gallon selected varieties Prairie Farms white milk, $3.99. 18 to 24.6 ounce selected varieties Vandy Camp's fish, $4.49. 9.5 to 10.75 ounce selected varieties Hostess mini donuts, $1.99. 16 to 24 ounce selected varieties Ragu pasta sauce, 2 for $5.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
Enter by November 12th.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free. Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Before we get to Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank, Packers practicing inside the Don Hutson Center. And
Is it raining up there?
It is raining up here. Per Robert J. Domovsky, Christian Watson is practicing.
Let's go.
They have opened the 21-day practice window. Today, as Tausch, I'm sure, knows, is Monday, October 6th. 21 days would put us at the 27th, which would be before they play the Pittsburgh Steelers on the 28th, which is before Halloween, which would put them back on the field after missing 6-7, depending on if he plays against the Steelers, games this season.
Can they pull him off that early, or does he have to stay off of it?
No,
in 3 weeks?
They can pull him off. They could play him on Sunday if they wanted to.
Let's go.
But the window is open, so we will see how quickly they remove him from that. As you know, the YouTube folks sometimes do their own program without us in the chat, and the discussion was whether or not he will still have his elite speed. Somebody, I think it was Jim, pointed out that Jordy Nelson was not as fast as he was before his ACL tear when he came back. He was the comeback player of the year in the NFL in 2016, but I don't think, and I think Jordy would acknowledge that his top gear was not as fast. Whether or not that's the case with Christian Watson, I have no idea. Every player is different. Every ACL tear is different. But I thought that was an interesting conversation that they were having. Also of note, Aaron Banks and his groin injury and Zach Tom and his oblique injury, both of them are back participating in practice.
Well, let's go.
Well, now again,
let's go.
They also took part in some practices before re-injuring themselves in Cleveland. So that one will
Well, they probably were doing a Thursday
bit.
Afternoon practice.
Well, yeah, maybe if they'd have practiced during the bye, they'd be more ready. The only two players not practicing on the 53 per Rob Domofsky, Anthony Belton, the backup right tackle who has an ankle injury, and Devontae Wyatt, who sustained a knee injury in Dallas. All right, time now for Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank.
Get out those wallets. Or is it time to cash out? It's Take It to the Bank on Wilde Tausch, presented by Associated Bank.
All right, guys, I feel like it's been a long time.
Is that a different open?
Apparently,
it seems like it is, yeah.
It says revised of May of last year. So, I don't know.
I like it.
I have to talk to Jesse.
I like to change it. Well, he'll have to work, so I can ask him.
Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But it's been a while since I played Take It to the Bank with you guys. Let's start with Take It to the Bank with Philly's loss. The Lions are now the biggest threat to the Packers in the NFC.
No. I still think it's Philly and then Detroit. I also think there's, Tampa Bay is people are sleeping on Tampa. Tampa went out to Seattle and, Baker Mayfield's got it. He does. I don't know how good their defense is, but I think Tampa, it's time to put Tampa in the same tierdom as the G&G and as Detroit. Get my little sign here. I still am a believer. Until someone knocks out the champs will be there. They are struggling. They're having turmoil. I thought something I heard today was really interesting on, it must have been Get Up.
GMA.
If Twitter didn't exist, Philadelphia wins that game yesterday. And I'm thinking to myself,
what?
Wait a second. Hold up, I'll get there.
Okay.
And I'm thinking to myself, that is crazy. And then the more it was getting explained, it isn't crazy. So much of the time, you're always told to not get caught up in the outside noise. And everything stays in-house. And in the old days, you could do that obviously to a much better degree than now. Philadelphia is 4-0. Philadelphia has won all of these games by they haven't outgained anybody. They yardage gained, they lost all 4 battles, and then they lost yesterday at the 5th. And if you remember Chris Jones talking smack to Jalen Hurts after the game that they beat the Chiefs, and Jalen Hurts was like, shut blank, blank, blank up because we won. And winning is always that ultimate trump card. But
Scoreboard.
With A.J. Brown putting out his tweet and the unhappiness, and Devontae Smith kind of being unhappy about not getting as many touches, they ran the ball 11 times yesterday. Once they got ahead 14 in the fourth quarter, they never ran it. It was minimal. They had no success. And you just wonder if all that chirping, Twitter, social media, whatever it is, if that doesn't exist, does Nick Sirianni and the offensive coordinator just say, let's just find ways to win? Or were they trying to placate a couple of cats and win, and it ended up costing them? And I think there's some real merit to it.
Who on your teams, again, I find your vast playing experience to be valuable on the program. Were there guys on your teams that if they had existed during the Twitter era, there would have been some issues like this, do you think?
Yes. Because let me tell you something.
No hesitation whatsoever there, by the way.
There were issues in-house. There were many issues in-house. And another great thing about having a franchise Hall of Fame quarterback, those issues get snuffed out like a torch on Survivor. If you're winning games, you can't. First off, you don't have the same forums to do what Devontae or what A.J. Brown did. Mm-hmm. But you also, it tells me a little bit about Jalen Hurts, too, that you would do that. Green Bay has had great wideouts. And how many times have you heard, other than the Greg Jennings post leaving Green Bay, how many times have you heard a lot of guys chirping about not getting enough touches? Romeo Doubs left the team.
Indeed.
For a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying with Favre and Rodgers, how many times did that get out publicly? Because I promise you, there was some stuff. Now, but it never was to this degree, and nobody knows about it. Mm-hmm. How many times have you seen that?
I don't recall ever seeing it.
All right.
Get out. But there were people that were unhappy. Riley, what's next?
All right, take it to the bank. The Bengals are the worst team the Packers will face the rest of the season.
Whew, Carolina's pretty bad, too.
They did win yesterday, though.
They did.
Yeah, both are bad. Yeah, I think this might be. Although if Baltimore doesn't get healthy and Lamar Jackson's not, the Baltimore Ravens stink right now. I can't believe I'm saying that, but they do. I still believe, and Vegas still believes in them, even though they're 1-4. Vegas still has them as the favorite to win their division. Yeah, I'm going to say they're the. I think Cincinnati might be from top to bottom with no Joe Burrow. They might be the worst team.
Yeah, because Joe Burrow doesn't play defense, and I understand that his replacement is turning the ball over, putting their defense in a bad spot. But they are struggling on both sides of the ball.
I mean, we don't play the Raiders or the Titans, right? Like those are two absolute stink pots. New Orleans isn't on the schedule.
No.
The Giants, are they on the schedule?
No. Tough schedule.
I think they are. No, I think the Giants are on the schedule.
Yes, the Giants, November 16th.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
The Giants will be. It'll be at their place, I think. Right?
Yep.
Riles.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going to put them in that category. I'm not going to put them in that category. So yeah, I think Cincinnati is going to be right there. I'll take that to the bank.
Did you get a lot of Riles?
I have, actually. My high school baseball coach called me Riles. My uncle called me Riles a lot. My mom, my grandma.
Your mom calls you Riles?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you know if you were born pre-2000, you're now Unc? They can call you Unc?
Oh, thankfully, I just snuck past that. I'm 2001, but I believe that.
Okay.
I believe that. Unc status happens quick.
You're 26 years old if you were born in 1999.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit, but I've heard that from more than one
You got
person.
unked, though, I bet, once or twice. You are an unk.
Yeah, Unk City, USA. Yep.
And the offense is a sap. Well, I can tell you this. Associated Bank is the best in the business. They've got the awards to prove it when it comes to customer service, whether it's early pay, whether it's credit monitoring, whether it's fraud protection, or whether it's being able to back your favorite team with their logo on your check and on your debit card. Packers, Brewers, Badgers. Associated Bank's got it all. So go to associatedbank.com to find out more. More Wilde Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Students can't prepare for future jobs they don't know exist. At Junior Achievement, we help students meet their future selves. With the support of Manpower Group and volunteers from all walks of life, JA programs help young people explore careers, build resumes, and envision bold futures. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
Stay up to date on the green and gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Milwaukee College Prep, redefining what's educationally possible so more children can pursue their dream. Join me, Craig Karmazin, and Milwaukee College Prep Thursday, October 23rd at Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and take a stand in closing the opportunity gap for Milwaukee scholars. Your support means quality education is accessible to over 2,000 scholars in Milwaukee. Enjoy food, drinks, and a chance to learn more. Purchase tickets at 2025 takeastand.givesmart.com. That's 2025 takeastand.givesmart.com.
Hey, it's your friend John McGivern. In a world full of chaos, I'm grateful for a health plan that has my back. Network Health is so reliable and trustworthy, they always put me and over 126,000 members first. It's just what they do and what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Craving that crispy, cheesy, thick Detroit-style pizza? Well, now you got it with Screamin' Sicilian. Screamin' Sicilian delivers the crunch, the gooey cheese pull, and that light, airy crust that you love, all baked in its own pan for those crave-worthy caramelized edges straight from your home oven. You got the cheese, the pepperoni, multi-meat, or supreme. It's like dining out, but without the hefty bill. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section. Screamin' Sicilian, Detroit-style, thick, crispy, unapologetically screamin'.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We'll get back to the Packers in a little bit, but a very odd story broke over the weekend. And Tausch, I know you enjoy your trips to Indianapolis. You believe many, many, many major events should be held there.
I'm going to tell you this. Been there a few times. Been to Nolans, been to, for some bigger sporting events. The nice part about Indianapolis is you literally will drop your car at the hotel, park it, and you have everything right there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is right there. You don't have, everything is within probably a 2-mile radius, and you just go and enjoy yourself. They got that monster hotel there. They got skywalks and bridges, and it is as convenient of a big sports event city as you could possibly have. Now, I don't know how it is in the middle of summer. I don't know. I don't know all of that. But I do know when it comes to big boy events and big girl events, Big Linda, it's the place you want to be.
Yeah. You don't want to be there, though, when Mark Sanchez is allegedly inebriated. If you missed this story over the weekend, and I have a few friends that covered him that were sending thoughts and prayers. And look, he did get stabbed in this incident, so I understand that he still needs thoughts and prayers, even though he was the aggressor. And he has now been charged with felony battery, arrested while he was in the hospital. There are weird stories every once in a while that come up, but if you've been following this one, he obviously has some issues. But for this to have played out the way it did.
Just because you get some information, maybe it's take a beat and let more stuff come out. This is a microwave society. I get it. And I'm sure there's times you tweet things out and you say things and you do things, and it's, especially if this thing happens live. And let's say we were in the New York area and we were covering it, you'd be all over it. You'd be and that's why I'm always like, well, you want to take a beat and get more information, because this thing went from, oh my God, I can't believe what happened to Mark Sanchez, to just wait a second, huh? And, a lot of times if you jump the proverbial shark, you're going to end up looking like a fool. This whole scenario seems like it's just it's an unfortunate deal for, it sounds like, a bunch of people involved.
Yeah, and the guy that he allegedly attacked is also still in the hospital. And this, I was watching the CBS coverage from the local station there. They interviewed the bartender who rendered aid. It is a incredible story. I was curious, though, so I did not make one call, that's all. I made one text, that's all, to my friend David Gruber, because I was curious.
This is actually well done, lining up your live reads with the Sanchez. That's really well done. I thought you did, and you're a pro. Well done, Jason.
I honestly was curious. Does this truck driver whom he attacked, allegedly, does he have some sort of recourse in terms of, could he call David Gruber and Gruber Law Offices? One call, that's all. And David said that they rarely do cases like this, but they have. But because of what he did was an intentional act, it could potentially fall under that purview, plus the fact that Sanchez presumably has significant assets from having played in the NFL. So someone, won't be Gruber, but it'll be someone that not only is he facing criminal charges, but he'll likely face a civil act as well. And I know that I hope I never have to make that call, whether I've encountered Mark Sanchez or been in an accident. But you know who I'm calling. It's David. I know he's there for me, and he's there for everybody. He's been doing it for 40 years. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. Go to the website, gruber-law.com, to find out more. Dom Cotronio.
Can you imagine Mark Sanchez goes out and has a dinner?
He takes a beat.
Of drinks. A bunch of allegedly, again, I don't know the story. But then all of a sudden, you wake up in that hospital, and I'm guessing you probably are thinking to yourself, what the, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He should be thinking, oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to shift back to the Brewers, because our Brewers guy, Dom Cotronio from 620 WTMJ, joins us next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and the Pickler Menominee Falls is now open. Your home for pickleball. 9 premium indoor courts with unlimited play, leagues, tournaments, and clinics, all included in your membership. And right now, if you're not ready to commit to a full membership, you can try it all with their special trial offer. 30 days for $30. That's 1 full month of unlimited play, leagues, and clinics for only $30. Check it out at thepickler.com. That's PICKLR.com.
Timeout on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Of Wilde Tausch begins now. We've got Dom Cotronio coming up at 11:15 from 620 WTMJ. Tausch will tell us about UW Credit Union coming up because they're spreading good vibes with him and swapping out seats. Brewers Game 2 tonight at AmFam Field between the Brewers and the Cubs. Tausch, you will be there. You are not sitting with Jesse and Up North Joe. You're going with some buddies.
No. Yes.
Are you? I know you're excited. I know you're confident. Is there anything that has you nervous?
Yeah.
About Game 2?
Absolutely. There's a bunch of stuff that has me nervous. Is Jackson Chourio. I would be surprised, and I don't know. I'm sure we'll ask Dom about that. Obviously, he pulled his hamstring in Game 1, and that's always something you're concerned about, especially when. What did Pat Murphy say after the game? It was devastating, I think he said. And Jackson came out and said that it wasn't to that degree, but. You're obviously always worried when someone is pulled out of a playoff game. That means you're jittery, and he is such a big part of what Milwaukee does. And then you make a bold move here and going with Ashby to start. So there's a couple of things that I think you can sit here and be all nervous Nelly if you want, or you could just say let's go, and you next man up, and you got. Your bullpen, you let this thing roll. But tonight, I thought Saturday was critical. And I believe the Brewers win this series because they won Game 1. And, me and Woody are both on the same page in that because our horse went out, did the job that was asked of him, and he is going to be the catalyst. If Milwaukee's going to win a World Championship for the first time, Freddie Peralta is going to be hugely important in getting to that point. and he was on Saturday. And what if push comes to shove, you would probably be able to go, game 4 probably, Riles? Does that sound about right?
Riles?
I believe so, yes.
All right.
So believe it or not, I was curious, so I went to the Brewers website, and there is a very limited number of tickets still available on a face value buy from the team status. You can get a spot in the last row of section 424 for $78.50.
Okay.
You can also sit in section 116, row 21, for $277.50. So there are a handful of seats still available if you are interested in a late addition to your Monday night schedule. I can't guarantee there are any seats available right next to Jesse and Up North Joe. I know those are prime seats that you want to sit next to those guys and discuss Wisconsin geography and other fascinating topics. Tausch, if they don't have, and we will talk to Dom Cotronio coming up next. If they don't have Jackson Chourio, who I believe was 3 for 3 at the time of his injury.
Yep.
In the game?
Yep.
What does that mean? What if it's he'll be back for the World Series if they advance? What is your concern level then?
Who said that he'd be back if the?
I'm saying that hypothetically. It's a sap.
Oh, it's another sap. You listen. You weathered the storm when he missed a bunch of time. I think in August, and you found ways. But there's a reason guys are, huge parts of your team, and are starters and are everyday players because they're better than who else you have. Now, you can catch lightning in a bottle, and you could have people go, and there's been plenty of players that have had huge postseasons that didn't have those regular seasons, and they've springboarded. Mark Lemke, the old Atlanta Braves second baseman, he had some big.
Yeah.
You could start looking back and find guys that have elevated, but typically when you win a World's Championship, it's your best players lead you to it, especially now with 3 series, having to win 3 series to get it done. That's typically what this does, and that's why you just hope that if Chourio misses, it's not for an extended period of time.
All right, let's get to Dom on time because he has much more insight than we have. So you have insight on what it means to be a UW Credit Union member and spread the confidence and joy and good vibes at AmFam Field.
For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for you, and they have been a great partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. You see their logo down on the field, and you get to see, if you watch that video, every game, somebody up in that 4th deck, sitting up there just pondering, boy, I wonder what it's like down low. And UW Credit Union gets you the tickets, gets you down there. That's great. They do all that great stuff, but also, they do great banking. They keep your banking local, member-first service, great perks like early payday. And at Bucky, how do you say no to Bucky? If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fan will make you do crazy things. Man, this makes sense. Become a UW Credit member today. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Dom Cotronio of 620 WTMJ, the flagship of your Milwaukee Brewers, joins us next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Ready to watch the Packers like a VIP? Cousins Subs put you in the center of it all on the 50-yard line in plush recliner seats, complete with personal TVs and your favorites delivered from Cousins Subs. 2 pairs of fans are selected before each regular season home game to enjoy this one-of-a-kind experience. Enter daily to win the best seats in the house, only from Cousins Subs. Cousins Subs. We believe in better. See rules and eligibility for details.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
The Green and Gold enjoyed the weekend off with their bye week, coming off the heels of the 40-40 tie with the Dallas Cowboys. This weekend, the Packers will return to Green Bay to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's what head coach Matt LaFleur had to say on what he's looking for out of his team this week.
And I don't expect us to play our best football in September. We've got to get better. Are we disappointed we're not better? Absolutely. But I still think even in the 2 games that we won, I don't think we've put together a full game of complimentary football.
Kickoff on Sunday will be at 3:25 at Lambeau Field. With your Green and Gold fix, I'm Will Summers.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Do you want to bank without the fuss? For easy banking, rely on us. In person, online, or with the Tri-City app. Your banking can be done just like that. Tri-City National Bank. Member FDIC.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. By choosing them, you're choosing a center focused on providing specialized care tailored to your needs. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free.
And their prices are more affordable than urgent care or the ER. And they'll send a full report to your primary care doctor. Why wait at the ER? Walk in to Ortho ASAP for faster, more affordable care.
Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com. That's orthowisconsin.com.
Imagine your home totally organized. At Closets by Design, we specialize in providing affordable, custom-built storage solutions with built-ins and beyond, from garages to new home offices. Our experienced designers work within your budget to design a solution fit perfectly to your needs. Get 40% off plus an additional 15% with 18-month financing. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get started. Let's get organized together.
Gruber Law Offices, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Call us today if you've been injured. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
We are really lucky because Tausch and I, we know our Packers. I feel like I would put our knowledge up against anyone, and I think we would win, especially with Bulaga in the mix and everything else. Domofsky. But baseball, I know Tausch is a tennis aficionado. I know he fancies himself as an NBA guy, but we're lucky. When it comes to the Bucks, we've got Justin Garcia. Sometimes we get our buddy Eric Name as well. And when it comes to the Brewers, we got Jeff Levering. But this guy has been such a great addition, and I'm glad. I'm not just saying that because he's on the line. I'm glad he's been willing to join us because he makes us way smarter every time he joins us. From 620 WTMJ is Dom Cotronio. Dom, good morning, buddy. Thanks for doing this.
I think the listeners don't realize, I had a little
something behind you there just to make sure there's a little something poking you to remind you to say nice things about me as I come onto the show.
No, you do a great job, and you know that, and we know that. Help me understand the Brewers' pitching approach tonight. Our resident baseball expert, Tausch, who's an expert at
Dom, were you surprised? I also, help us explain it, but also, I think most of us thought, it's easy. Quinn, go. Winning all these games. Can you take us inside what they're doing and why they're doing it?
Well, I kind of called my shot. I had the wrong opener. When the roster came out and I saw that Robert Gasser was on the roster, that was my smoke signal to say they're doing an opener. I thought it would be Gasser because I don't know if they want to throw him into a postseason bullpen scenario. And even yet, he still could start Game 3. Now, all of this is to say, why not start Quinn Priester, given the start in the year and everything? The reason is, with the Cubs lineup, they are an everyday lineup that Michael Busch plays every day, and if you can get him to face a lefty as often as you can or get an extra at-bat against a lefty, do it. If you can get PCA to see another lefty, do it. If you can get Kyle Tucker to see another lefty, do it. Ian Happ, switch hitter, but worse from the right side, do it. So the point being, the Brewers are trying to do this the first time through the order. I don't think Ashley was just going to go one inning. I think he could go all the way through. I imagine PCA will probably hit 7th or 8th and then get through PCA, and then Priester would probably enter to follow there, because then if things go according to plan, let's say you're through 3 innings with Aaron Ashby, then if things go according to plan, Priester can take you to the 7th or 8th inning easily, and then you hand it to Uribe and McGill and Koenig, and all those guys are ready to go.
So the great Pat Tauscher, years and years ago on the farm, suggested that teams should do this, and now it has become a thing. And now I think his theory was 9 different pitchers, 9 different innings. Is that right? I don't want to misquote him.
The thought process, rather than paying one starter $45 million a year, you get, flamethrowers that'll give you 1 or 2 innings, and you saw Freddie on Saturday. There's a balance to this. I think the 9 innings, that's cute. I don't know if that's sustainable over the long term, but it definitely has trended that way. You just brought up, with the fact, will the Cubs do any tinkering because of what the Brewers are doing?
Great
or they're
question.
they're set in their ways, they're doing what they do?
So the conflict becomes, do you start Justin Turner at first, knowing he's going to get 1 at-bat against a lefty, and then immediately pull him as soon as Priester comes in, you put Busch back in. But now you lose roster flexibility. Busch has to play the rest of the game, and now the Brewers have their hand played where you can bring in DL Hall, you can bring in Robert Gasser, you can bring in Jared Koenig against the lefty that can't come out of the game. So this is the mind inside the manager, but to Pat Tausch's thought, the 9 innings, 9 pitchers, the nerds want that. Like that's a baseball frontier that has been explored. And we all reacted and overreacted to the starter must go 6 innings, like the report that was put out by Major League Baseball, and people freaked out. It's like, no, baseball's very aware of the death of the starting pitcher and how important it is to keep this going. I'm in favor of Jason Stark, fantastic writer here in Philadelphia, now does it at large for The Athletic, the double hook rule, where if your starter, like their parameters, right? Let's say baseline, starter needs to go 5 innings, or if you're down by more than 4 runs, there are baselines. But basically, if the starter doesn't go 5 innings and you pull the starter, you lose the designated hitter, and you have to pinch hit the DH the rest of the game. I'd be all in on that, but I think that's never going to happen.
So, Dom, what do you think happens? I know you're out in Philly, but what do you think happens here if Milwaukee, this works tonight? What happens next? How, do you think Pat Murphy already knows, or is it contingent on how tonight's game turns out, winning or losing?
Yeah, I think it's contingent on tonight. I really do. I think they're keeping Jose Quintana holstered for a couple of reasons. Number one, he's obviously pitched at Wrigley, and I think they always knew all along they want him to pitch a road game. And we talk about the lefty being a neutralizer for the Cubs lineup. Number two, let's do the worst case scenario. Let's do Murphy's Law. let's say Ashby gives up 3 runs in the first and the Brewers don't come back. Who's to say Quinn Priester has to pitch in this game? You all right? And what if you just go full bullpen game? And then you save Quinn Priester for game 3. I mean, this is total galaxy brain theory here. But the thought being is there's no reason to show your cards in the postseason. There's literally no reason. So I love the gamesmanship. I love the idea of, well, it could be Quinn. It could be Quintana. It could be Gasser. It could, yes, I love this. Bring us mystery. Bring us a little bit of second guessing and all this stuff. But the way I see it is that, probably cooler heads will prevail. Well, Quintana will probably start game 3, and then they'll have a lineup of lefties to follow him too. But I think you don't want to get too cute, but the series never really begins until a road team wins a game. So let's make sure that it's 2-0.
The old George Karl rule. The old George Karl rule. Jackson Chourio, obviously there's a lot of concern. Be very skeptical. What's your hunch on that? And then who needs to elevate their game if he can't go?
Hunch is he sits out tonight. That's just what I would do. Because off day yesterday, you get 3 straight days off. You take the step back today to make sure you're not taking another step back later in October. That's what I would do. Now, Jackson is 21 years young, and 21-year-olds heal fast, and he's going to do everything in his power to walk into Murph's office today and be like, put me in there. And, you kind of got to save him from himself sort of thing. I would rest him. As far as who's going to step up behind him, I'd expect Isaac Collins to start. I'd be shocked if it's Brandon Lockridge. The way Isaac finished the year was disappointing in his standards, given Rookie of the Year candidate for 4 months out of the 6 this year. It really faltered late. Defense wasn't as good as it was earlier in the season. But, legends are made in October. Nobody cares what he did in the regular season anymore. And look at Blake Perkins, man. I mean, one in that bat yesterday. You just never know. Joey Ortiz drawing 2 4-pitch walks. You just never know what's going to happen in October. Maybe Isaac can get things going in the right direction tonight if he starts in left field.
That's someone's Steinhoffel's sleeper of the week in our little competition for this series. So hopefully he has a huge game on my behalf. Dom, what are the make us smarter like you usually do? What are the other pieces of this game 2 matchup that you as a baseball guy will have your eye on that me as a football guy wouldn't be smart enough to have my eye on and will because you told me to?
Shota gives up bombs. I know you see, the numbers head-to-head against the Brewers, that he's been better this year than he was last year. But he's still giving, I want to say, the 3rd most homers in all of baseball. And that's hard to do at Wrigley, given the wind's blowing in half the year. So the way I see it is all this talk about the home runs and, you got to out-homer your opponent. You got to do... Okay, the Cubs out-homered the Brewers yesterday 3-0. They were all solo shots. The Brewers out-homered the Mets in the wild card series last year 5-1. Look how that turned out. Home runs are important. I'm never going to turn down home runs. But if you suddenly throw in this offense hitting homers on top of what they did in Game 1, that's what makes this team not only a pennant contender, but a World Series contender. Look what the Blue Jays have done. Yes, they hit a grand slam with Vlad Jr., but they were kept on hitting. These 2 offenses are on a crash course of how to do it in the postseason.
What did you think of, look, Jesse has very strong feelings about Craig Counsell. I can't feel as strongly as he does. But he seemed rattled and everyone in the entire organization was okay with the pitching decision. What do you kind of make of if there was a Dom for the Cubs, what is he trying to tell Cubs fans? Because I watched that and thought, these guys look shook after what happened in Game 1. Am I wrong to think that way?
No, you're not wrong at all. The way I saw it was, when I saw that Matthew Boyd was going to start Game 1, I thought this was going to be Counsell a la 2018 Boyd starts for 3 batters and brings in a righty. I really thought that was going to happen, like the Wade Miley NLCS against the Dodgers. And it didn't. So I knew he only threw 60-some pitches in game 1, but you look at those numbers in the second half for Boyd, and the whole organization line, I'm like, I'm really surprised you went there and just didn't just wear it. Like, I wouldn't have done it. Like, I would not have started Matthew Boyd. I would have started Colin Ray and then see where you're at. But, hey, I'm not the manager. I'm not the second highest paid manager in baseball. So the point being, for if I was the Dom of the Cubs, is, hey, you played your most uncharacteristic game. I mean, the Nico Hoerner error was the play that lost the game for them. Not the big 6-run, not the coming back, not the whole, like, Nico Hoerner, your Gold Glove second baseman. He's going to steal the Gold Glove from Bryce Strang this year. He has been phenomenal at second base. That error lost them the game. So you're like, okay, that's not going to happen again. You hit 3 home runs. Cool, that's not going to happen again. Or it's like they got to see Jared Koenig, all right? So they had some small victories, and they only needed to use 3 non-leveraged relievers, right? Soroka, Savali, who pitched great, and Ben Brown. Those guys are not going to pitch with the lead the rest of this series. So it worked out from the Cubs' favor from saving their bullpen.
All right, so last thing for me, as a baseball guy, you obviously watch way more than I do, but I have to admit, I have pretty much all the playoff games on now when I'm writing my Packers stories or just on in the background. And I find myself stopping and watching an inning, which I would have never done in like the middle of June. What is it about October baseball? Like, it's just like every pitch there's like implications to, like, I would say, and I covered the NFL for a long time, but the postseason for baseball, after 162 games plus all the spring training, it's a pretty damn good crescendo, I have to admit. What is it about postseason baseball?
Yeah. People always ask, why do these guys celebrate so hard between every round? They haven't won anything yet. These guys have been together since February 14th, okay? They are sick of each other. And you are in this marathon together. And the reason why October baseball is so intoxicating is that the Brewers are a team that we have seen them kind of touch the sun and live to tell the tale. And you're hoping they can do it again. Like, oh, what if they just time it up right? And, you know, every pitch to pitch, right? I mean, I've said this quote a few times now. I'll say it again. A player told me when we were talking about, like, yeah, in the playoffs, everything matters. A walk is a rally. And he said, no. A walk isn't a rally. A 2-0 count is a rally. It just changes everything. It's like you're in a tie game in the fourth quarter and every play is 3rd down and 5. Like, it is just so much fun that there is so much stress and weights on every single pitch. How intoxicating was Tigers-Mariners last night?
Yes!
Tarek Skubal, best pitcher on the planet, and then gives up 2 homers to Polanco, and then they blow it in the 8th, but then they come back in the bottom half. Like, that is baseball, October baseball to a T. Yesterday, or game 1, Teoscar Hernandez fails to cut off a ball in right center field, then he hits the go-ahead 3-run bomb. Like, sign me up for all of this injected into my veins.
All right, Dom, we appreciate you always making time for us. I can guarantee you we will be bothering you again
Yes,
and again and again. We know you got a lot on your plate, so thanks for making time for us. We'll talk to you again soon.
The sooner the Brewers can clinch the NLCS, my life gets a lot easier. Thanks, guys.
From 620 WTMJ, that's our buddy Dom Cotronio. We are
what
always
else I
smart when we
love?
talk to him.
I love this whole roof, shifting the roof to get sun glaring into the Cubbies. And, you know, tonight it might rain, and I don't know if they're going to do night. The roof, there's storylines, and you asked why you're so intoxicated by it, and I thought Dom gave a great answer. It's 3rd and 5 in the fourth quarter
That's
all
a great
the time
line.
because everything matters. Great line. It is just a pressure cooker where everything – he said Hoerner made the error. Doesn't make errors. That pressure. We all want to see these athletes that have been doing it for 162 who can respond and handle it. And I think that's why we're all so intoxicated by it. And when it's a team that you watch and you care about and you see, you're even that much more invested in it. So that's why, to answer your question, why everybody is so – and there's not a lot of things that get you to that point.
You're right.
In sports. Sunday at the Masters, if you have a golfer that you like. NBA, when do you get that? Maybe late in the fourth quarter? You're not feeling that way in the second quarter of an
NHL
NBA
overtime games.
Overtime.
In the playoffs.
Yep. But every inning is an overtime because that Cubs-Brewers game was done after 2 because you knocked it.
Right.
Yankees, Blue Jays, same thing.
Right. Hope that continues. All right. They moved up the locker room. I'm going to get out of here and get over to Lambeau Field so I can talk to Christian Watson, who has been had his window open for practicing. A few other guys I want to get to. I want to talk about turnovers and takeaways and the lack thereof.
Ooh, are we doing last-minute trivia today, Riles? We're going to do last segment trivia?
No, we're doing double trivia later in the week trivia.
Okay.
So you and Riles are going to take it home. I'm going to head to Lambeau Field. More Wilde Tausch or Tausch next. So stick around.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Time out on the field. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, a whole house of new windows for as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no extra interest.
And unlike opponents, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin actually stops the drafts.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today at PellaWI.com.
Zero restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2025.
Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball is heading to Milwaukee this December when they play in the Milwaukee Hoops Showdown on Friday, December 19th at Pfizer Forum. The Badgers will tangle with Villanova at 7 p.m. with UW-Milwaukee and South Dakota State starting the action at 4 p.m. 2 marquee men's basketball games, 1 exciting event at Pfizer Forum. Make plans and get your tickets now at PfizerForum.com/showdown. The Badgers headline the action on Friday, December 19th, and you don't want to miss it. Tickets are now available at PfizerForum.com/showdown.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com to book today.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so 4 Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
We all have someone we know or love that has been affected by some form of cancer.
No matter how well you love and support them and try to be there for them, you can never really know what a person is feeling after hearing the words, "You have breast cancer."
Only another person that has been through this experience can really understand what it feels like.
ABCD, After Breast Cancer Diagnosis, is a Milwaukee-based organization known around the world.
When someone calls ABCD, they are matched with a mentor who is a breast cancer survivor of similar age and has the same type of breast cancer who can provide hope when people need it the most.
Kesslers is excited to announce that we've designed 3 new Hope pendants to honor breast cancer patients, survivors, thrivers, and caregivers.
100% of the net proceeds, along with an additional donation from Kesslers, will support ABCD when you purchase the symbol of hope.
You can find a link with more information about ABCD, along with all 3 modern designs starting at just $75 in sterling silver and $598 in gold, online at KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Riley and Tausch now, or Riles and Tausch, Yauk and Tausch. I think Riley and Tausch has the best ring to
I
it.
actually like Yauk and Tausch.
Yauk and Tausch?
Yauk Tausch.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Is Tauscher, what ethnicity is that? Is that German?
There's some Bohemian, a little German.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering because Yauk is German, Tausch, like it's got a similar, that sort of aggressive sound to it. So, just wondering.
Yeah, we have these. We put an S in there to just kind of soften it a little bit.
Okay, is that a
Tausch and Youch?
Tausch and
That'd
Youch.
be a whole different thing.
Well, without further ado, it's time to get into some Whoa Riley.
Is good. The guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, Tausch, let me paint the picture for you. So, Saturday, I'm at the Silver Eagle in Monona. Fine establishment. Excellent sports bar. We're going there for Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show. Myself and Corey Sparks. My friend...
They still got the shuffleboards in there, right?
I didn't see any shuffleboard. Not inside shuffleboard, no.
Oh.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I always thought they had shuffleboards.
Yeah, lots of tables, lots of televisions. But my friend is also there. He wanted to sit and listen to what I had to say, myself and Corey Sparks, and then also watch the Brewers-Cubs games. He's a Cubs fan. So he's sitting down, me, Corey, and my buddy, Oscar, are talking at the bar, watching the Brewers game start, watching the end of the Badgers game. Then Michael Busch hits the home run. He's going crazy. Brewers start storming back. We're going crazy. And then Blake Perkins comes to the plate. Has his 11-pitch at-bat, rips the single. Brewers are up 4-1. I walked into the bar with just my Badgers gear on. I'm hosting a Badgers show. I'm wearing Badgers. But I brought a Blake Perkins jersey that I own to put on. Thank you. So after Blake Perkins gets the big RBI after a great at-bat, I put on the Blake Perkins jersey. And then another fan at the bar, a Brewers fan, starts yelling at me like, whoa, 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 whoa. You need to come into the bar wearing your Brewers stuff. You're a bandwagon. You can't be putting it on after the game start, after the Brewers come back and start playing well. You can't be doing that. And I was like, what? Blake Perkins just had a great at-bat, so I'm putting the jersey on. I'm talking Badgers. I'm wearing both. And he was like, nope, it's not how it works. So, in your opinion, if you're going to the bar, you have 2 teams on, do you have to be wearing both going in? Or is it fair or foul? Is it fair to put on the Brewers jersey after they start doing well? Or is it bandwagon?
So I would say this. You kind of threw me under the bus when I gave you an opportunity to support me when I was battling with Jason about the 1982 or the 1962 Junction Boys water. You can wear what you want. The fact that you're wearing Badger gear as the Badgers are struggling is fantastic. You're hosting the show. You're there for work. And who but a real true blue Brewers fan is going to have a second thing to wear? Bandwagon people aren't doing that. Bandwagon people are all in on the Brewers, and they're leaving their Badger gear at home. So whoever was telling you this isn't understanding the big picture. They're not looking at this. The Badger game was going to end before the Brewer game.
Mm-hmm.
You're rocking the Badger gear, even though we just have had a couple of real disappointing weeks. And that game, unfortunately, didn't turn our way either.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not bringing a Robin Yount or a Paul Molitor or a Christian Yelich jersey out. You got Perk. So this guy or gal, whoever was giving you grief, nah, I'm on Team Riley on this. I think you did everything right.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you not going eye for an eye and throwing me under the bus. I appreciate that because I thought
I have to be honest about stuff.
Yeah, because I responded to him at one point with what bandwagon fan has a Blake Perkins jersey in their backpack?
Great question.
And he didn't have an answer for that. So that was my take. Appreciate your support. Now, Tausch, you tweeted out something about field goals and maybe being too easy. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes, I think it was who made the 53. Was it obviously New England's kicker made a big kick yesterday. Denver's kicker made a big kick to go up 4. There were a lot of we've seen this now before. The Browns kicker makes the game winner against the G&G a couple weeks ago. And I'm kind of over it. I'm over the fact that everybody's panicking that Aubrey can make 70-yard field goals. That's not how the game of football is intended to be played. Now, they've gotten better. I would say this. There was a time, 1991, I believe, Whitney Houston blaring the national anthem during a war. It was Scott Norwood, I think, barely got a 47. He pushed it right, but it barely got there. Now these cats are kicking 60-yarders, and they're good from 75. This is not how whoever invented football, this is not what we were looking for.
Well,
so I have two options here.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
I got two options to solve this. It's too easy to make kicks. It is too easy. We either need to narrow the goalpost, which I am totally on board with.
Okay.
And it won't be that hard. I don't know how far you want to bring it in, but you want to make it. I love the fact it's penal if you miss, and you get the ball spotted at where they spotted it for the kick. Or, and this is where I think, and I hadn't even thought of this, no more K-balls. You kick what your quarterback was just throwing. Let's be done with that. You get to doctor up the K-balls. You get them all pretty and shiny and whatever you want to do. Dunzo. You're kicking. If that ball just slopped in the mud, you're kicking a mud ball.
Wait.
We'll dry it off for you, but no, we're done with K-balls. I want them out.
Okay, maybe I might show my youth being a casual fan here. I didn't know. So they swap out the balls for kicking? It's not the same football?
Yes. That is correct.
Okay, so every time you line up for a field goal, it's a fresh football with, I'm assuming, more tack on it than the one that's dirtied up. Yes. Okay, that's fascinating. I didn't know that. But push back on your first topic that this isn't how football is meant to be played. Whoever invented football, I don't think envisioned the forward pass. I think they'd hate football nowadays. They'd probably say it was weak and soft.
Well,
it's flinging the ball
they
around.
Let me tell you something. They wouldn't think it was weak when they're getting royalty checks for inventing football.
Fair enough.
So it's just, here's the deal. I think kicking has gotten too easy. That is not what it's just not what football should be. We shouldn't be having guys kicking 68-yard field goals and being like, oh, yeah, that's just part of the deal.
But isn't there something to be said?
Go back.
Isn't there something to be said for, like, excellence, though, in your craft? Like, kickers just getting better and better and learning how – because it doesn't look like kickers have gotten much bigger. Like, they're figuring out the mechanics.
You kick the normal football. Just like I would say in golf, let's go back to the old golf ball. Let's stop juicing all these things up. Because are they really getting better? You know, like Ben Hogan would drive the golf ball a ton if he's using this equipment and stuff? Of course they would. So, no. It's not as all these kickers are so much better. Yeah, they're better. But let's give them an old slop ball and see how they're doing.
Is that how it used to?
It's just too easy now. So I want to change it. And if you're kicking slop balls 60 yards, I'm great with it. But I don't want it fresh and clean. No.
Okay.
One or the other.
So
they will do something to change this.
When you played, were they kicking slop balls, or was it still K-balls, as you called them?
I don't even, at some point in my career, K-balls came into play.
Okay.
And the kicking, I'm going to say this.
I was just going to ask, was that a big deal at the time, or did that just kind of like slowly, that just happened? Or was this like a big deal, like the NFL introduced
Riley,
it?
I ain't going to lie to you. I didn't have time to worry about all that.
Okay.
Now I do, and I can sit here and tell you that this should happen. I just was worrying about blocking people and trying to make a living. So I wasn't worried about K-balls and anything else. I just knew when we lined up, we weren't going to attempt anything over 55, 56 yards. Now these kids are kicking 70 yards. Come on. So we'll see if it happens. I would bet the NFL Competition Committee will do something. I don't know what it's going to be, but I would bet something changes in the next offseason.
All right.
Whoa, Riley.
Whoa, Nelly. Last thing I got for you, Tausch. I don't know. Did you tune in to the Panthers-Dolphins game yesterday? Did you happen to see any of the discourse on Twitter surrounding the commentator of said game?
No.
All right. Well, his name's Eric Collins. He does the play-by-play broadcast for the Charlotte Hornets. He did the Badgers-Middle Tennessee game earlier this year. Here's a snippet of what the Panthers-Dolphins game sounded like yesterday.
Tagovailoa has Waddle. He's open. Touchdown. And Donald, look at him. What kind of speed do you get, young man? To the end zone. Achan. Did he? He did. Look at this. Donald still on his feet. Caught back in the end zone. Xavier Leggett. Tagovailoa.
All right, I feel like that's a good taste of Eric Collins on the call.
Little snapshot.
Yeah, so
I love it.
Okay, that was going to be my question.
So I think that you can overdo things. Part of the greatness of great announcers is knowing the moment and then being able to paint that picture. Or the thing that I can't stand, now I got after Bob Costas and I think people got after Al Michaels, is some of these guys, I think you've done it so long that you don't still have that excitement when a big moment comes. Like fans, I think almost every fan would love to do these jobs because they think they're good at it, but you want to feel the excitement of what's going on. And if you as an announcer don't have that, you're probably in the wrong spot. So this cat is obviously, he's enthused, he's excited about this opportunity, and he wants you to make sure to know when big plays happen, he is just as excited as you are, and I think that's a good thing when it comes to announcing.
Okay, I would agree. I love listening to Eric Collins. I don't know if you went and watched any of the highlights of Middle Tennessee, Wisconsin on video.
I think Phil's better.
Okay, Phil
Collins.
Phil Collins? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll bump back with some Phil Collins. But I love, he has a call like on Tretch's long run. He's like, Kakahuna! Touchdown! He's just going nuts, exactly like he did there. So I love Eric Collins.
Sounds like the youngster on that Prep Mania game coming up this week.
Yeah, may have to. Milton Redhawks, Sun Prairie East Cardinals coming up this Friday. Gonna be a good one. Make sure to tune in. That's it for Whoa Riley. We wrap up the show next. This is Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
Greasy Ben Brust, just whichever way the wind's blowing. I have bad posture. I don't have a great backbone, Joshy.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Saturday, October 11th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Mentality is hosting a health fair at 2323 North Mayfair Road in Wauwatosa. Take a free cognitive test, the first of its kind FDA-approved brain health screening in just 10 minutes, and get labs with a donation. Plus amazing giveaways, and here's the best part. It all supports Ignite the Spirit, helping Milwaukee's firefighters and their families. Mentality clinics are backed by science and delivered with care. Mark your calendar for Mentality's Milwaukee Health Fair, Saturday, October 11th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Be there.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Canty.
To have the two worst passing halves that we've seen through the first quarter of the NFL season is an issue. The first half against the Rams, they had negative passing yards. The second half against the Bucs, Jalen Hurts didn't complete a pass. So those are things that raise an eyebrow. Is this team going to be able to sustain their level of play? Are they going to be able to find a way to continue to win games? Are they going to have block kicks for touchdowns in every single game? Or is this offense going to get back on track? I have questions about the Philadelphia Eagles. Not saying that this team is not capable of competing, because I clearly believe that they are the class of the NFC. But what I am saying is I do not believe that this is sustainable in terms of the team being outgained in yardage in every single game this season.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Little Phil Collins playing us out on this Monday edition.
Did you think
Wilde
for a minute
Tausch?
Phil Collins was a Brewers baseball player?
No, I thought you. I don't know why you said Phil, and I was like, is he talking about Phil Simms, the broadcaster, former quarterback of the Giants? That was my first thought. It took me longer than I would like to get to Phil Collins. But the Brewers taking on the Cubs tonight in Game 2 of the NLDS. Tausch, what's your game day look like? You're going to a Brewers game. What is your evening going to look like?
So I will head down to Milwaukee probably earlier. I'm going to meet up with the guys that are going to the game, probably around 5:30, and then try to get over there 6:37ish. Get an hour and a half, hour and 8 minutes of little lead-in time. I was unable to obviously go Saturday. I love playoff baseball. I love going to Brewers games, but like Dom said, there's just something it's unique, and to be in that environment, I cannot wait to get down to AmFam Field.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to watch the game tonight. I'm on pins and needles. I'm excited. So, Brewers Cubs tonight, NLDS Game 2. You can listen right here on 100.5 ESPN. Pregame coverage begins at 7:30. Thank you, Tausch, for letting me fill in. Been a fantastic show today. Jason, Tausch, and I believe Jesse will be back tomorrow for the Tuesday edition of Wilde and Tausch. In the words of one Jason Wilde, thanks for coming along. Take care, be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with pizza.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on gallon selected varieties Prairie Farms white milk, $3.99. 18 to 24.6 ounce selected varieties Vandy Camp's fish, $4.49. 9.5 to 10.75 ounce selected varieties Hostess mini donuts, $1.99. 16 to 24 ounce selected varieties Ragu pasta sauce, 2 for $5.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, wow, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
Enter by November 12th.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and when it comes to my home, I want a team that I can trust, and that's Lifetime Home Services. From cleaner air and radon safety to custom closets, window treatments, and home renovations, they do it all under one roof. What I'm most excited about right now is their epoxy floors. They make your garage clean, durable, and organized with shelving and storage options to get everything off the floor. For over 30 years, families just like ours have trusted Lifetime Home Services to make their homes safer and better looking. Trusted solutions, lifetime results. Schedule today at lifetimehomeservices.com.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.